Hey everyone, my name is Sam, and this will be my first YouTube video. I'm going to be doing a Chatty Get Ready with me, so you can get to know me and see how I do my face. It is 1 p.m. on a Sunday morning / afternoon, and I just got back from breakfast with my greasy hair and yesterday's makeup on. So I'm just going to hop in the shower, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and a lot has changed. I did shower, and then I decided to do my base off camera in order to save time, and I moved you right up close so we can get started on the eyes. And I'm going to go in with the Holy Grail NYX Jumbo Pencil and Milk, which I feel like everyone and their mother uses to prime their eyes. So, like I said, I decided to do my base off camera so I can save time because I can only upload a video that's up to 15 minutes, at least right now, unless I want to go through an additional verification process with YouTube. And I realized YouTube videos have definitely been getting longer lately, so they must have heard they changed their policies regarding upload times so that it's easier to make longer videos, which makes sense because I remember seeing mostly just like 5-minute videos, 3-minute videos, 7 maybe, max 20, but now we're getting a lot more 20-30-minute videos as the usual, which I personally like because I don't usually watch videos on YouTube. I'm mostly just passively listening to them, so it's nice if I can pick one to start and then just let it keep going instead of having to look for a new video every 3 or 5 minutes. But yeah, it made me realize too that I'm very much just a consumer of YouTube videos so far, not much of a producer, because I had no idea about these guidelines about upload times. And that's kind of something, in one of my classes we were reading about this concept of being a prosumer, which kind of speaks to the fact that in the economy, the modern economy with so much information technology, the lines between producer and consumer that we traditionally conceive of in the market are really blurred, and those who consume media and, I don't know, things are also very much producers of them at the same time. So I kind of wanted to be a producer on YouTube, at least to try it for once and see if it's my thing, kind of put my voice out there. I mean, I have commented on other people's videos in the past, but for the most part, I'm really just consuming what other people put out there without giving anything back. So yeah, that's kind of what prompted me to make this video. And I think that's something that's changed on YouTube, actually. When I think of like old school YouTube, it was very much, YouTube, it was about you publishing your own content and letting people get to know you, making your own videos and sharing them. Whereas now I think YouTube is much more consolidated into just a few really big YouTube channels that have really high production value and really good content, sure, but it also feels a lot more commercial. I'm going in now with one of my all-time favorite palettes, the Urban Decay Electric palette. That is technically not eye safe. They're called pressed pigments, not eyeshadows, but what do you think you're going to do with them? They're definitely on the eyes. But no, like I was saying, it's much more commercial now. It feels like there's a lot of people who are just sponsored and everyone watches their content and doesn't feel the need to share their own, or I don't know, their own opinions, their own art. But yeah, so I kind of liked that concept, which kind of is what inspired me to get off my lazy ass and make a YouTube video. Why not? As you can tell, this is a really wearable look too. I decided to go with it because as I was putting on my base, last night's makeup was still poking through, and last night was just, I was putting these same eyeshadows just all over my face. Because Cupcake came for a concert. She was not on campus, but near campus. And the theme of the party was millennial pink. So naturally I painted my whole face pink. That's kind of what I like. I'm a fan of monochromatic looks, and then I also just like to match what I'm wearing. So, but yeah, I don't know. It's honestly really hard to think of things to keep saying. It's a lot of emotional labor to sustain this conversation and maintain a sense of like intimacy with the viewer, to make people feel like we're having a conversation when I'm actually just sitting alone staring into a camera. I'm also staring into the wrong part of the camera. I'm sorry. I keep looking into the viewfinder when I should be looking at the little hole right there. It's just so counterintuitive to speak to like a robot instead of a person. And I suppose it's not an imagined sense of intimacy. People will hopefully people watch this and comment, and then we can really share, I don't know, something. I've really, like I said, I have commented on YouTube videos in the past, and I think that there's something to be said for community on YouTube. Specifically with Project Panners, I don't know if you've heard of this before, but there's like a small group of YouTubers, some of them are relatively large, but not a huge community from what I can tell, of people who are really into finishing up their makeup, setting aside like a few products that they want to use up and focus on to get the most of the makeup that they've already bought, to kind of counteract the really consumerist imperative that I feel YouTube has taken on with this, you know, just buy, the latest, the greatest. But yeah, I can't remember why I brought them up. Oh, because they're a great sense of community, that's why. And I think there's something to be said for communities like that being able to be fostered off YouTube. I'm kind of a little bit anti-YouTube in some ways, just the way that they profit off of content creators' labor, and not all of that money really makes it back to the people who are putting in the work to make the videos. You know, like if you're a really small channel, you might never see any money for the views and the ad revenue that your content garnered for YouTube, which I think is especially true of project panning YouTubers, because they're small, they're really community oriented. They don't care about getting a lot of views. They care about, you know, communicating with people who share their passions for panning makeup. And when they say panning, they just mean, you know, if you really used a product well, you can see the pan, like on this one, this color Pop Shadow. That's why they call it project panning, to get to the pan of your makeup and use it all up. But I was thinking, because if you're a small YouTuber, you don't get your first check until you make up to $100. That's kind of like the threshold where they'll actually send you your money and start paying you. And if you're a small YouTuber, you'll never see that money, honestly. So I think that Project Panners could be working on something, I don't know what this alternative would even look like, but some non-profit or not-for-profit community-oriented space, just like a server, where they could post videos and comments and stuff without a corporation, a soulless corporation profiting off them. But I mean, I do understand that YouTube is also an important sense of revenue for some people, especially women who are, you know, making content while also, you know, before work or before their kids wake up. I follow Emily Noel. I don't know if you know her, but you really should if you don't. And she's amazing. She's like Midwestern mom with a huge family, but then also has time to have this also secondary source of income from her YouTube content, which I love and must be really fulfilling and a sense of purpose. So I mean, I'm not saying YouTube is all terrible, but I don't know. I don't know what its priorities are. I'm skeptical, especially because it's not a very reliable source of employment either. You know, I feel like YouTube can very much take advantage of content creators, which we saw with this big craze of people's videos being demonetized with no justification. And that's wild, because for some people that's like a really important source of income. Not everyone has jobs outside of YouTube, or even if they do, they might, you know, really need to supplement that income with the revenue from their videos. And to have an employer who, it's not an employer even, you know, it's this just amorphous entity that you're trying to deal with as a small creator. And I don't think they really have people's, you know, it's not like they're giving you health insurance. They don't have your best interest in mind as an employer. They're just happy to skim off the top of whatever content you're creating while you're doing it. And if you can't make it anymore, they couldn't care less. There's plenty of other people making videos for them to profit off of. So I don't know. The jury's still out on that, but I'm now making them some beautiful content to slap some ads on and make money. Maybe they'll send me a check one day. I don't know what it means to make $100 off YouTube either. I don't know how hard that is. I think it must be like 100,000 views, I think I've heard. But we'll see how many I get. Let's make a goal for this video, see if we can get to 500 likes. That'd be a great start. I love when YouTubers do that. But yeah, it's a very precarious source of income, and I'm glad that I'm just doing this as a one-off kind of fun video, and that I don't have to rely on YouTube to look out for me, to make ends meet. But sorry, I'm gonna have to be quiet for a second and do my liner. I might have to do this off camera, honestly. I'll probably cut this out. it. So I just went with lashes and liner, and I realized there was a little bit of fallout that I tried to clean up, but I mean, my face is all purple at this point, so I think a little purple eyeshadow under my eyes won't really matter. And then my mascara gave me a cute little beauty spot right there. So that's where we're gonna draw in my beauty mark for today. I tend to usually just put it wherever I mess up and need to cover up. So I'm gonna go with a little more liquid liner right there and just commit to the beauty mark. It's a unique one. Alrighty, so I'm just gonna go in with the lips now with this Wet n Wild liquid catsuit. It is a beautiful shade, but it lasts terribly. It cracks off your lips in the first few hours. So I'm just gonna put it on for a little bit to finish the video, get the final look, show it off. You can't really talk on doing this. All right, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching my Chatty Get Ready with me. I feel like so often feminized forms of speaking, such as chatting, is devalued as unimportant, but hopefully you've been able to see the amount of work that goes into creating such a casual video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you feel like you got to know me a little bit better. I also wanted to really quickly just turn around my camera before I end and show you the mess, the script of things to casually chat about, and then the mess that has been accrued. Well, thank you again so much for watching.